What's up, Interweb? RhyQuinn here, and welcome to my team analysis video for Week 2, Division 2, Season 2 of the Pokemon Premier League. All of the 2s this week. So this week we are playing Ruby Marrow and the Cleveland Bros. Now, if you didn't see what happened last week, I'm going to very quickly go over it, and we can have a look at the league table. You guys can see where we are right now. So you can see, after Week 1, we are not bottom of the table, despite our huge loss in Week 1, as a 5-0 loss. We are 11th, not 12th. There was, in fact, a 6-0, so we're not bottom. Yay. But we are 11th. Now, obviously, that's not the end of the table we want to be. We want to be at the other end of the table. And we are going to rectify that this week. Obviously, it's Week 1. A lot of things can change, but hey, that's what happens. There's that, and there's also the Golden Pokeball Award, which is the replacement for the MVP race this season. I don't think we have anyone in the top 10. No, I think the highest we've got is Sylveon, which is like 25th, I want to say. Yeah, Sylveon's 25th. We have a list of every single Pokemon that's been drafted in the division. But I'll just show you guys the top 10 because that's what really matters. But yeah, so we got some fun stuff up there. Mew getting a sweep was quite fun. Obviously Superior from our game last week. So yeah, I'll keep you guys updated on from week to week. Obviously, hopefully we can get some mons up there as well. We need to start getting some kills for that to happen first, but we'll get there eventually. Now, so yeah, that's the admin kind of stuff out the way. So we've got the league table and the Golden Pokeball Award, which I'll update you on every week in this team analysis video. But now we come on to this week. And this week we are playing the Cleveland Bros, managered, that's not right. The manager of the Cleveland Bros is Ruby Marrow. And he has a pretty damn scary team. So let's just go over the team matchup to start with. So the team should appear about now. So my team, Nidoqueens Park Rangers, is Sylveon, Hippowdon, SHAYMIN, SLOWKING, FORRETRESS, HITMONLEE, STOUTLAND, ROTOM, WEEZING, PYROAR, and M.ABSOL. Cleveland Bros. Ruby Marrow's team that he can potentially bring to this match is Excadrill, Weavile, Florges, Mega Slowbro, Thundurus Therian, Landorus Therian, Emboar, and Snorlax. Now, you guys can see the biggest threats on each side as well. Now, my side, my biggest threat that I noticed straight away, because I kind of try and look for this every single week, is PYROAR does a lot of work to his team. He has one normal resist on his entire squad, and that's Excadrill. Excadrill does not switch into a PYROAR at all. It's not safe. It's not a safe switch in the slightest, because I catch that thing with any kind of fire move, it dies, just straight up. So that was a thing, so I'm like, well, PYROAR is cool, and the only thing that outspeeds it outside of Scarfers is Weavile. Weavile is the only thing that outspeeds it, which is fantastic, so that's cool. So I knew I was going to be bringing PYROAR, and hopefully it can do some work this week. On his side, I do want to put a proviso. I've put the biggest threat as Emboar, and that's because there's, like, no switch-ins to that thing ever, and it can just kind of run through me, is a thing, depending on what coverage he wants to bring. I'm going to put a proviso on that. Emboar's not the biggest threat to the squad that I'm bringing. To the team that I'm bringing to this match, there is a different biggest threat, but from just the general team matchup, Emboar's the biggest when you're just looking at the full squads. From my team, there's a different biggest threat, which I'll come on to at the end after I've talked about the team that I'm bringing. So, his only hazard removal is Excadrill. So I was like, cool, I'm going to hazard stack him. Because like I said, Excadrill is not the bulkiest of mons, and it doesn't really switch into a lot of my mons. It can switch into Sylveon if I'm not going for like a hidden power, so if I go for Hyper Voice, you can switch in. Hippowdon can't switch in, SHAYMIN can't switch in, SLOWKING can't switch in. FORRETRESS, if I'm packing like Earthquake or something, then can't switch in. HITMONLEE can't switch in. STOUTLAND can get superpower, can't switch into that. ROTOM, it doesn't want to switch into a Willow. WEEZING, ditto, does not want to be switched into a Willow. PYROAR, any kind of fire move. M.ABSOL can pack something like superpower and destroy that Excadrill's life. So I can pack coverage on pretty much any single one of my mons to hit Excadrill. So he's going to hopefully have some problems getting those hazards away if he does decide to bring Rapid Spin on Excadrill. If he doesn't bring that, those hazards are there to stay, and I am going to hazard stack him, especially when the likes of Thundurus Therian and Weavile are weak to rocks, and things like Mega Slowbro and Florges and stuff don't appreciate being worn down. Emboar, Snorlax don't really appreciate being worn down. Yay for me. So, let's get into the team I'm bringing. Now, first one I knew I was going to bring, as I said, biggest threat, PYROAR. And TART Scream the PYROAR is holding the Life Orb, with MOXIE. 36 EVs in attack, 252 in special attack, and 220 in speed with a naive nature, with Fire Blast, Hyper Voice, Dark Pulse, and Iron Tail. Yeah, so you've got the rogue Iron Tail PYROAR. So this PYROAR has just enough speed to outspeed any non-Scarfers on his team, aside from Weavile. The next quickest thing after Weavile is Thunderous Therian at base 101 speed, and Pyro is base 106. So only 220 speed with a plus speed nature to outspeed a max speed Thunderous Therian. And Fire Blast, Hyper Voice, Dark Pulse hit everything, at least neutrally. xKito can't take a Fire Blast, Weavile can't take a Fire Blast. Florges, I'll come on to in a second. Mega Slowbro doesn't want to take a Dark Pulse. Thunderous Therian doesn't want to take a Fire Blast. Same with Landorus Therian. Emboar takes a lot from a Hyper Voice. Snorlax. Snorlax is the only thing that can stop PYROAR. Hyper Voice still does a really nice amount, but depending if Snorlax is specially or physically defensive. If it's like a specially defensive Curselax, then it can just take the hits just fine. But if it's not, cool. But if I can wear Snorlax down, then it can't really switch in too much, because if it has to be a pretty high amount of HP to take 2 Hyper Voices. I believe if it's, I think it's max HP Snorlax, it takes about 40 to 45% from a Hyper Voice. So he's going to have to be a pretty damn high amount of HP to take 2 of them, especially if hazards are up. So that's cool. Of course, if he's specially defensive, it's a bit of a different story, but if he's specially defensive, I've got other monsters to deal with it, so it's fine. And then we come on to Iron Tail. Now, this is a bit of a gimmick, and I'm probably not going to use it. It is only if he brings a specially defensive Florges, because if it's a physically defensive Florges, then Fire Blast does more than Iron Tail anyway. But if I've killed a couple of things, and I get Moxie boosts, Iron Tail does more than Fire Blast and can even OHKO a physically defensive Florges. If I have 2 Moxie boosts, Iron Tail can OHKO a physically defensive Florges. So that'll be fun if I can do that. So yeah, I'm hoping that's what can happen. I'm going to need Weavile out the way. I want PYROAR to do things late game, but at the same time, I do want to pick off the ones as they go as well. If I'm using him late game, I'm going to get those Moxie boosts, they'll rack up, and hopefully I can take out the Florges. If I'm using him just to pick off mons, then the Moxie boosts aren't really going to come into play, but it's nice to have just in case. It's better than Unnerve and stuff like that. I don't really feel like berries are going to be much of an issue, considering I'm not hitting things super effectively, aside from Excadrill and Weavile, and I don't think he's going to bring Ockerberry Weavile, or Ockerberry Excadrill, so I'll be fine with that. And he can't bring Cobbleberry Mega Slowbro, because obviously it's holding the Slowbro Knight, so that's fine. So yeah, I didn't really see a need to bring on Nerve, so we got Moxie for the Iron Tail, potentially. It might come into it, might not, but it's nice to have it anyway. So that is Tart Scream the PYROAR. Hopefully, my win condition for this game, hopefully PYROAR can do things, which is going to be fun to see, because I know a lot of people are just like, oh, PYROAR's one-dimensional, it can't do anything. And I want to prove people wrong, I want PYROAR to do things, so hopefully that can work. Now, we come to the next mon on the team, and this mon I originally had in a much different role, but I realized I needed it in this role for this match, and that is Gloria the Hippowdon, holding the leftovers with Sand Force, max HP, max defense, Impish, Earthquake, Slack Off, Ice Fang, and Stealth Rock. I'm still debating changing Stealth Rock on Hippowdon. I'm not 100% sure yet, but we've gone. I think I'm just going to stick without the Stealth Rock, because why not? But physically defensive Hippowdon is my only stop to Excadrill, and I need that, because otherwise Excadrill just destroys me. Obviously I'm bringing Sand Force, not Sandstream, because if he decides to bring Sand Rush in the hope that I bring Sandstream Hippowdon, I'm not going to give him that. So I'm bringing Sand Force, and if he wants to try and do some Sand shenanigans with Excadrill, if he brings like Sandstorm Excadrill, then I get boosted Earthquakes, which is cool, because I'll have Sand Force. So that's nice. But yeah, just a physically defensive Hippowdon to stop Excadrill, that's literally it. Otherwise Excadrill just so much to my team. Obviously you can Iron Head the Sylveon, can X-Scissor the SHAYMIN, X-Scissor the Slowking. It does a lot to a FORRETRESS, even if I'm, because I'm not bringing a physically defensive FORRETRESS to this match. Spoilers. Hitmonlee's not that bulky. Stoutland, I guess, could intimidate if I wanted to bring that, but again, eh. Rotom, obviously, he has Mold Breaker, so he can hit Rotom and WEEZING. PYROAR, obviously not. M.ABSOL, not a chance. So if he brought like a Scarf Mold Breaker one, that could do a lot to my team. So I need physically defensive Powdon to stop that. That's pretty much all Gloria is there for. Potentially get up rocks, slack off any damage I take, Earthquake the Excadrill back, and if he wants to switch into either of his Earthquake immunities, that being Thunderous or Landorus Therian, I'll hit him with an Ice Fang. So, there's that. So, that is Gloria the Powdon. Third one on the team. Like I said, I knew I wanted to hazard stack him, so I am bringing JANNETTY the FORRETRESS, holding the CUSTAP berry, with Sturdy, 240 in HP, 4 in defense, 252 in special defense, and 12 in speed with a careful nature, with Stealth Rock, Spikes, Earthquake, and Explosion. Now, FORRETRESS is going to be my lead, pretty much no exceptions. I don't think there's any scenario where I won't lead FORRETRESS. I will get up rocks first turn, and hopefully what's going to happen is they'll attack me, take me down to my Sturdy, I'll get up as many layers of spikes as I can before I die, and when I'm down to like a low amount of HP or I'm down to Sturdy, I'll either Earthquake or Explosion depending what's in front of me. If Excadrill's in front of me, I'll Earthquake it. If there's anything else, literally anything else in his team, I'll Explosion. Like I said, he has no normal resists other than Excadrill, so I'll explode on anything, which is kind of fun. I like that. Obviously it's not going to do like a huge amount to a lot of things because I'm uninvested in attack, and you know, I know FORRETRESS has base 90 HP, but it's not stab, it's not invested in attack, so it might not do that much, but we'll have to see. But that's basically, FORRETRESS is there to hazard stack, get up rocks, get up spikes, and then either Earthquake or Explode. That's it. And he's going to be my lead pretty much hands down. 12 in speed is just in case he wants to speed creep me with Snorlax, I want to say, and Mega Slowbro. They can potentially speed creep a FORRETRESS if he wanted to, so it's just in case I want to outspeed a Snorlax or a Mega Slowbro, I can do that. So yeah, that is JANNETTY the FORRETRESS. Next one on the team, LOBSTER, the SHAYMIN, holding the Choice Scarf. 68 EVs in HP, 252 in special attack, and 188 in speed with a timid nature, with Seed Flare, Earth Power, Hidden Power, Ice, and Healing Wish. Now, Scarfed SHAYMIN can do a good amount to his team. I have just enough speed to outspeed a Scarfed Thundurus, I want to say. Nope, that's not true because I can't outspeed a Scarfed Thundurus. Scarfed Landorus Therian, that's it. I can't outspeed a max speed Scarfed Thundurus Therian, but I can outspeed a Scarfed Landorus Therian. It's annoying to keep saying Therian all the time. Thundy-T and Lando-T. I can outspeed a Scarfed Lando-T, not a Scarfed Thundy-T, but I outspeed obviously every non-Scarfer. I don't expect him to be bringing Scarfed Weavile, because I think that's a bit counterintuitive. He could bring Scarfed Thundurus, and I'm very much aware of that threat. And Scarfed Landorus is, of course, kind of common. So, I can outspeed that, which is nice. Seed Flare for Mega Slowbro. Like, just, I need something with Mega Slowbro, and it absolutely nukes it, which is nice. He doesn't have that many switch-ins to it. The only thing that resists is M.ABSOL. And obviously Snorlax can take any special hit, but that's, you know, I might be getting the special defense drops. I have a 40% chance to lower the special defense by 2 stages, which means a subsequent Seed Flare will do a hell of a lot more, which is nice. That's also going to be really, really nice for Florges, because Florges is going to be a bit of a problem for my team, and I need to... I might need to rely on that on those special defense props if I have to. I'll do that against Florges if I have to. If Florges wants to try and storm me out, wants to try and Synthesis or Wish Protect on me, I will spam Seed Flare until I get those special defense drops, and I will take it out. So yeah, Earth Power to hit the M.ABSOL if it wants to switch in. Like I said, it's his only resistance to Seed Flare. Aside from Thundurus, actually, sorry. It's the other resistance. M.ABSOL and Thundy-T. So I've got Earth Power and Hidden Power Ice to hit both those things respectively, and of course Hidden Power Ice is nice for Lando as well. And then I have Healing Wish, because I didn't really feel like I needed anything else. And Healing Wish can be really, really nice for getting something back in the game. If something's been worn down or it's status, something got burnt, or something like that from a Mega Slowbro Scold, Healing Wish back into it, gets rid of any status, gets it back to full health, and something can come back in, some kind of offensive threat maybe, who knows. Yeah, that is Scarfed SHAYMIN. LOBSTER hopefully going to put in some work in this match. The penultimate one on this team, the 5th one. I realized at this point that Thundurus Therian is a Pokemon, and it does things and stuff to my team. So I needed a switch in to a Thundurus Therian, which doesn't really exist. but I've gone with one anyway, which is Michaels the Hitmonlee holding the Assault Vest with Unburden, and I'll come on to that in a second. That might seem Assault Vest Unburden, what? But I'll come on to it in a second. With max HP, 100 in attack, 4 in defense, 148 special defense, and 4 in speed, with a careful nature, Mach Punch, Close Combat, Rapid Spin, and Stone Edge. Now, I have just enough special defense investment that a Thunderbolt from a Life Orb, Max Speed, Timid... What is it? Yeah, Max Special Attack, Timid, Life Orb, Thunderbolt from Thunderous Therian does not 2-hit KO this Hitmonlee. Now, Thunderous Therian can pack Psychic. That's a thing it can do. And if it does, I don't have a switch in. But I'm hoping he either brings it Scarfed, which is possible. I'm really hoping he brings it Scarfed, because then I can chew Thunderbolts all day. And he might pack Psychic, but I don't know if he will. I feel like it'll be more Thunderbolt, Volt Switch. He might pack Sludge Wave for the SHAYMIN, because I feel like that's a bit more of an obvious switch into it. So I'd expect something like Volt Switch, Thunderbolt, Sludge Wave, and I don't know, maybe HP Fire for FORRETRESS. I don't know if it needs that. And probably Grass Knot for Hippowdon, honestly, would be something I'm expecting. So that would be the set, I'd think. So I'm hoping he doesn't pack Psychic. What's nice about this as well is I'll come on to... Obviously, I've got Rapid Spin to get rid of if he wants to try and put hazards up against me. I'm not having any of that, so Rapid Spin those away. Mach Punch for Excadrill and for Weavile. Obviously, Weavile outspeeds, so I can Mach Punch that and kill it. Excadrill is just a scary, spooky dooky threat, so I can Mach Punch that and kill that too. Well, it doesn't kill it, but it does a lot. And Stone Edge I have for the Thunderous. Now, this is, again, a little bit of a gimmick that might not come into it. If he packs Knockoff on his Thunderous, if I switch in Hitmonlee into Thunderous and he goes for Knockoff, he'll knock off my Assault Vest. That actually activates Unburden. Now, they changed the mechanics in Generation 6. It didn't used to do that, but now it does it. So if he knocks off my Assault Vest, I activate Unburden, I outspeed the Thunderous, and I can do a huge amount of damage with a Stone Edge, and he will not see that coming. Because if you see an Assault Vest, you do not think that Hitmonlee is Unburden. So I'm really hoping that can happen, because that will be fun as hell, and I'm hoping I don't miss a Stone Edge. That would be less than ideal. So obviously, like, I need that Assault Vest to switch into Thunderous, but if he knocks it off as I switch in, then that's fine. I can outspeed and then hit it with a Stone Edge. If it's taken rocks damage, then Stone Edge has a chance to kill it. So that's cool. I'm really hoping that works, because that's fun. I like that. Anyway, that's Michaels the Hitmonlee, there to be a switch in to Thunderous Therian. And the last one on the team is Fast Booker the Slowking, holding the Wakan Berry with Regenerator, max HP, max defense, 4 in special attack with a bold nature, with Scald, Psyshock, Grass Knot, and Toxic. This Slowking is once again a switch in, quote unquote, to Emboar. It's not a switch into an Emboar, but it's a switch into an Emboar. It's my only switch in to an Emboar. The Wakan Berry, for those that don't know, it reduces super effective electric type attacks. So, the move that Emboar would probably want to try and hit Slowking with would be Wild Charge. But I can take one. I can take two, I think. With a Wakan Berry, I can take 2 Wild Charges, which is nice, and I can respond with a Scald or a Psyshock. So, Emboar's a huge, huge problem for my team. I don't have a switch in outside of Slowking. What's nice about this, though, as well, if he doesn't use Wild Charge against my Slowking, if the Wakan Berry doesn't pop against it, then I can use this against the Thunderous Therian. I can take a Thunderbolt with ease with a Wakan Berry, and I can respond with a Scald or a Psyshock or whatever, whatever the situation calls for. But I can take a Thunderbolt from a Thunderous Therian as well, which is really, really nice. So that Wakan Berry will hopefully come in handy. Outside of that, for Emboar, I can only check it. You know, I can hopefully get a bit of damage off and then bring in PYROAR and Hyper Voice or something, but I don't have a switch in outside of Slowking. But I'm hoping with the fact I'm hoping he brings like a choiced Emboar, so he can just like think he'll spam Flare Blitz, I'll switch in Slowking, and then he has to switch out, and I can get Regenerator back when I switch out, so then I can switch in again. You know, it'd be nice. But yeah, Scald for burns. Psyshock again for stab, plus it hits the Ember, and it's better to hit the Snorlax as well. Grass Knot for Mega Slowbro, because that thing's a bit of an issue. And Toxic for the Florges that might want to switch in. Because Florges doesn't mind being burned, it can take any hit from a Slowking. So I've got Toxic to try and weigh that thing down. Obviously, Aromatherapy is a thing, but if he doesn't bring it, I'm looking good. So that's the team I'm bringing. Now, I said before that there's a different biggest threat that isn't Ember. And while Ember is a very scary threat, and I'm not underestimating it, I feel like I can reliably check that, and it'll be okay-ish. However, there is one particular one I am going to really, really, really struggle with. Well, there's two, really. One, Weavile. Weavile, I do not have a switch in on this entire squad. I just don't have a switch into a Weavile anywhere. It just doesn't exist on my squad. So my only way to take the thing down is to check it. One, with Scar to SHAYMIN, which I'm hoping I don't reveal, so he doesn't go for Ice Shard against me. I'm hoping he's going to think he'll outspeed and go for an Icicle Crash, which allow me to go for a Seed Flare before him. It doesn't kill him, and I will need some to wear it down a bit. I'm hoping he's Life Orb, so that makes it easier for me, or he's taken Rocks. That would be nice. My other thing is Hitmonlee with Mach Punch. But if Hitmonlee gets worn down or it gets taken out, that's going to be bad news, because he can Ice Shard me. Again, I don't know if he will. He might see the Mach Punch coming, so he might, so Weavile's going to be a bit of an issue to try and take down. The other Pokemon, Florges. Florges is going to be a huge, huge problem for me to try and take down. I have nothing on my entire squad. Out of all 11 ones that I have nothing that can 2-hit KO a Florges. Doesn't exist. Aside from, like, a Specs Weezing, I have nothing that can 2-hit KO of Florges. Potentially Iron Tail or M.ABSOL. Nope. Because Iron Tail and M.ABSOL, while it might 2-hit KO of Florges, I die to a Moonblast, so I'm not going to get 2 Iron Tails off. So yeah, I have nothing. Nothing for this Florges. Which is a bit of an issue, so I'm hoping I can wear it down. I'm hoping he doesn't bring Aromatherapy, so I can wear it down with Toxic. If he does, I'm hoping he brings Aromatherapy and not Synthesis. If he brings Wish without Protect, that'll be easier to deal with. If he brings Wish Protect, or he brings Synthesis and Aromatherapy, I'm a little bit screwed, because I have nothing. Nothing to take down that Florges, and it can just stall me out. Which is not good, but there wasn't much I can do about it. Like, there's not much coverage I could pack on someone to hit it. There's not many things I could change about it. I just can't take down a Florges on my entire squad. So, it's not good, but it's all I can do, really, against that Florges. It's a bit of an issue. So, while Ruby's squad is small and he only has 8 Pokemon, so it's a little bit more predictable of what he's going to bring, if you can't do anything about the Pokemon he's going to bring, you're still a little bit screwed. So, that's kind of the situation I'm in at the moment, is that I feel like I know what he's going to bring, I just don't have ways to deal with him reliably, you know? But anyway, that's the team I'm going to bring. Hippowdon, PYROAR, FORRETRESS, Hitmonlee, SLOWKING, and SHAYMIN. That's the squad. So I hope this team puts in work. The match should be up tomorrow against Ruby Marrow, and yeah, I think that's about it. So make sure to go down in the description. Links will be to Ruby Marrow. It will be to the PPL channel. Hopefully, there's been the recaps and the power rankings have gone up by now. On the PPL channel for Division 1 and Division 2, so you can go and check them out if you want to keep up to date with like all the matches and all that stuff. If you don't have time to watch all the matches and all that stuff, then make sure to go to the channel, because obviously that'll be updated with all that stuff. And obviously links to my opponent, links to the PPL public spreadsheet and all that stuff will hopefully be there, so you can check that as well. So yeah, that's about it. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you tomorrow for the match. Toodaloo.